Aksionov's wife enters the cell with their children. She sees Aksionov in prison clothes with chains on his feet and faints. Aksionov's wife. Oh! She falls to the floor. After a moment, she gets up, gathers her children, and sits by Aksionov's side. Aksionov's wife. How are things back home? What happened? Aksionov, I told you everything that took place. We must send a letter to the king. We must ask him to set me free. Surely they will not let an innocent man be punished. Aksionov's wife, I already sent a petition to the king. He refused to consider your case. Aksionov stares sadly at the floor. Aksionov's wife, you remember I dreamed that your hair had turned gray. You remember my dream? Ah, if only you had stayed home that day. Ivan, my dear husband, tell me the truth. Did you murder the merchant? Aksionov, so you do not believe me either. Aksionov covers his face with his hands and bursts into tears. A guard enters the cell. Guard, it's time for your wife and children to leave. Aksionov says goodbye to his family. Aksionov, goodbye. Aksionov sits alone, reflecting on his wife's visit. Aksionov. It appears that only God knows the truth. God is the one to ask for mercy, and the only one who can give it. Aksionov, now an old man with white hair and a long beard, walks slowly and prays often. New convicts arrive at the camp. The old prisoners gather around the new convicts. Aksionov sits near them, listening. Makar Semovich. Well, friends, the truth is I was sent here for nothing. I borrowed a horse that belonged to a friend, but I was arrested and accused of stealing it. I explained that I took it because I was in a hurry to get home and that I was going to return it later. But they insisted I had stolen it. Makar shakes his head and smiles. Makar Semovich. It's funny because once I really did do something wrong. But that time they didn't catch me. And now I have been sent here for doing nothing at all. Ah, well, life is hard to explain. Prisoner, where are you from? Makar Semovich. I come from Vladimir. My name is Makar Semovich. Aksionov raises his head. Aksionov. Do you know anything about a family named Aksionov? Have you heard of them? They were merchants in Vladimir. Are they still alive? Makar Semovich. Of course I have. The old woman is dead. But the children have worked hard and are rich, though their father is in Siberia. He is a convict like us, it seems. But you, for what crime did they send you here? Aksionov remains silent for a long time. Aksionov, I have been in prison for 26 years, Makar Semovich. But what did you do? What was your crime? The other convicts explain Aksionov's story to Makar. Makar Semovich. Well, this is amazing, really remarkable. But how old you've become? The other prisoners ask Makar why he is surprised, but he does not answer. Aksionov wonders if Makar knows who killed the merchant. Aksionov. Semovich? Perhaps you have heard of that crime. Makar Semovich. Heard of it? Of course I have heard of it. It was on everyone's lips at the time, but that was long ago, and I don't remember much about it now. Aksionov, perhaps you know who really killed the merchant. Makar Semovich. Well, it is obvious that the man who killed him was the man who was found with the bloody knife. Look, how could anyone put a knife into your bag while you were asleep? That would surely have woken you up. Aksionov feels certain that Makar is the murderer. He gets up and walks away. Aksionov lies awake, unable to sleep. Aksionov, it appears that only God knows the truth. God is the one to ask for mercy and the only one who can give it.